Live broadcast. We are just joining the live broadcast again. Everything is really happening fast. We will play some videos through later on, but let's listen to the live broadcast. What you're seeing is the number of votes of wins by the parties. The one in blue is for Tinubu, the one in green Atiku Abubakar, and Obi is third, Kwankwanso is fourth. So we'll come and get later on. Okay. Thank you. We'll be silent from here on.
2660. Total valid votes 540,566. 540,566.
Okay.
Rejected votes 16,371. 16371.
Okay.
Total vote cast 556,937. 556,937.
So,
okay, thank you, Prof.
we're reading it live.
Incidents of places where elections could not hold or cancelled?
Yes, yes, Mr. Chairman, there are incidents where elections were cancelled in 12 polling units in 9 registration areas.
Total number of registered voters?
Total number of registered voters for those is 7,692.
So do you know how many collected their PVCs?
The 6,925.
6,000?
925 cancelled.
No, I'm talking about the figure you have quoted of 7,692.
Yes.
Out of that figure, how many have collected their PVCs? Do you have the information? It's easy to check based on polling unit by polling unit distribution of collection.
Yes, it's 6,925.
Oh, okay.
6,925.
Reasons for the cancellation?
The reasons for cancellations, basically overvoting in some polling units. And then there was violence in one of the registration area. Those are the reasons, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Any comments?
Just to give you an update so you can see state of play so far in the Nigerian 2023 elections.
Okay, please submit your
There is a
results.
bombshell of a news from former President Obasanjo. He's called for a rerun of the elections where they didn't hold properly on the 4th of March 2023. A rerun. He's called for a rerun, and I'll play that video to you. Very, very important interjection. I wonder what your thoughts are on it, but let's listen on. This is from Channels News. We're going to come in and out of it, but we want you to listen to specific news and things. Clearly, this is a farcical elections in many respects, and it just doesn't have any credibility, whatever side you choose to be on. But anyway,
incidents and the reports. The incidents and reports. The 40G. Okay. Thank you.
It's very telling, the intervention of President Obasanjo.
Election Secretariat anymore? Do you have any
Former
more?
president.
No more.
So we wait to see what's going to happen.
Okay.
Please do share.
Tomorrow, I'm sure many more will come. So on this note, I would like to thank the party agents.
Okay.
Thank Jack from Tough Africa.
So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Susan at the
The
platform where we speak
president
truth to
of the
power.
Nigerian Bar Association.
Please do help us share. We're trying to
Thank
reach as
the
many
security
people,
agencies,
and we'll talk some more.
national commissioners of the commission, other officials of the commission, and the media. Good night. Tomorrow proceedings will begin at 11 o'clock.
Okay, so
And hopefully, if all the states come in, we'll conclude tomorrow.
okay.
Good
Right.
night.
This is not over by a long shot. I want to say that now. What you're looking at is not over by a long shot. No way is it over by a long shot. We are going to watch the video. We're going to watch the video of President Olusegun Obasanjo, and he has just dropped a bombshell. A bombshell. We'll watch the entire video, and then we will talk about it. I mean, if this is, yeah, let's we will just stay with it for a few minutes, and then, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to mute that. I don't want to, we'll come back out of that. Okay. So let's bring it back. So that is let me first of all bring you the state of play so far, as to what it looks like. Who's leading? So who's leading right now is Ashiwaju with 4,105 votes, 663 votes at 44.6%. Abubakar Atiku is coming in second at 3.052625 votes. Peter Obi is 1,643,069 votes at 17.63%. Musa Mohammed Rabiu Kwakwanso is 238 votes, 724 votes, representing 2.56%. If you look to your right, as I'm seeing the pictures, you will see the breakdown of who is how they've done. So you can see the blue, obviously the legend, it's giving you the clue. It shows you Jigawa, Kwara, Oyo, Ogun, Ogun, Ondo, Ekiti. These are for Tinubu, according to the records as they stand. But then there is Kaduna for Atiku, Kaduna, Yobe, Gombe, Adamawa, Oshun is for Atiku. Now, for Peter Obi, we have Lagos. That's a stunning win from him. And then you have Nasarawa and, of course, Enugu. And Enugu, we can see that. But the Nasarawa it's a surprise win in a way, and we're quite it's in a way that's quite it's. And then let's look for the figure for, of course. There's a blue. Is there a blue there? No, there is nothing. There's no dark blue for Kwakwanso because it's not quite made up anything there. So that's the state of play from what we're seeing. Now, I'm going to quickly touch on a few things, then I will play the video. Now, what I want to really talk about is this. The BVAS debacle. When the electoral law, what the electoral law says. We're going to touch on that briefly. If I can find that. The embattled INEC chairman, which is what we see here. Let me see if I can find this picture. 1 second. I need to get his picture up. I've got his picture somewhere. Okay, I need to find that picture for you. I don't want to bring that up just yet. Just give me a minute. I will find it for you. Because we need to really do this if we can, in a sequential order. But we have to there is a bombshell that we need to discuss. And I'm hoping that we are aware. Listen, Of course, please keep in mind that on this platform, we are still for Yoruba Nation. We are working towards that. But we are realistic enough to know that what happens with this decision that has been made impacts everything that we do. So for that reason, from that point of view, we are discussing this. So I hope that makes some sort of sense. I hope that makes some sort of sense. So that's why we are, if you see us doing this, we're doing it because we really need to explain it to our people. I'm speaking in English tonight, but I wanted to just really make sure that it's clear. So let's look at this. So this is the guy that is in question. This is the guy here that has allowed and overlooked the BVAS issue. And what is the BVAS issue? The BVAS issue is the INEC chairman. If you notice something about what he's wearing, I'm not going to say, but you should know where that is going. You can understand where the cap, those of you, you will know where that cap is going. Please do share this broadcast as you're watching it. We need to look at things and really try and break this down as much as we can. If you're joining Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power for the first time, please do endeavor to share the broadcast. We really appreciate your support. We're trying to give you as much information. I mean, we got that picture there because that is the man in question that former President Obasanjo really gave an ultimatum in effect about the things. Now, quite what's going to happen, no one knows. No one knows. So, good evening, Joel. Stand by, Joel, Henry Ume, and 15 others. Good evening to you all. Please help us share. Omapenny, thank you. Good evening and welcome on board. So I want to just greet you all and I recognize you. We're going to try and go on YouTube. And currently, as you all know, I've been prevented from streaming on Citizen AY. But of course, we are going via Oduduwa TV Radio and we're streaming on there. So let's just quickly say a big hello, good evening to everybody watching and welcome on board. And please do share this broadcast. This is very, very important broadcast. As you saw now, they are saying, the INEC is saying that we are back at 11 tomorrow morning to continue with the broadcast. And that's okay. So good evening to those of you joining us on Oduduwa TV Radio on YouTube. Good evening and welcome. Please do endeavor to share the broadcast. Very, very important. Please, it is important that we understand that those of us going for Yoruba Nation, and I am clear about it, we are going for it. I am not one of those people that will tell you that, oh, we're getting it tomorrow, we've already got it. No, we haven't got it. And there are reasons why we haven't got it. But that doesn't mean that our efforts have been in vain. No, we are working towards it. There are some 10 things that will become apparent in the next coming days and weeks. Just bear with that, with what's going on. I want to urge those who are still sort of having infighting with everything that we're seeing before us now. I think this should concentrate our minds. Believe it or not, there might be opportunities in this current situation, but we can only take advantage of those opportunities if we ourselves, if our house is in order. I'm not going to say more than that on that subject. So this is the man here. The BVAS issue is the central problem here. The minute the votes were finished on the day, they should have been uploaded to the main server, the IVAS server. But they never did that. And that remains the problem. The other issue is there were obvious disruptions, both from thugs and also from the police who were supposed to be making sure things were orderly, interfering in the process. And the staff, the INEC staff, were engaged in malpractices that frankly they should be arrested for. But none of those people. I note that Mahmoud, the chairman, Mahmoud Yakubu, said, if you know of anybody that's been, of INEC staff, put them to us. You don't need anybody to wait for you. If you are a body that is working for the people, that is something that should be a matter of course. We shouldn't even have to be labeled that point. So it shows us that there's some sort of a collusion in what it's saying. So we need to be aware of this. Let me just quickly go and say a quick hello to those of you who are on Oduduwa TV Radio. We're trying to make sure that we reach as many people as possible. Do share the broadcast as you're watching it. There might be some things we'll touch on. We may go back and revisit some things whilst we're live on air, but you're watching Citizen Air, the platform where we speak truth to power. Please, I don't want to, not all the parties. No. There was 10 parties that walked out. So, Christian Abamidele, good evening to you, my sister. Welcome on board. I appreciate you. Alison Hunter and 8 others are watching. So, good evening and welcome to Citizen Air, the platform where we speak truth to power in conjunction with Oduduwa TV Radio. Tonight's broadcast is likely going to be in English. It is deliberately so. Please, those of us who are for Yoruba Nation, I want to urge you, never give up. We are not giving up. We are going to redouble our efforts, but our house, we will put it in order. Let's not kid ourselves. The situation of things that has gone on long enough, and there are times that are things that we need to do. We all know who we are. There are things that we must do. We must, if we are going to lead and get us to the promised land, there are certain things that we must do to keep our house in order. And it has gone on far enough. What has happened? It has happened. Yes, everybody who's been part of this struggle, we have achieved something. The awareness is something that nobody can doubt. But in terms of clear organization and a forward movement, it is absent as we speak. That we need to bring and rapidly work together to actually address collectively. And also, I want you to know that whatever happens in terms of this election, which we don't want any part of, there are implications that may or may not affect how things go forward. So we need to be thinking about that collectively as well. And what does that mean? Whatever the outcome, what does that mean for what we are trying to achieve? So these are the kind of things that I want us to be looking at and talking about collectively. We need to be looking at that. Somebody just said something here. Let me just see what people are saying. I don't want to be... When is Yoruba Nation going to overthrow the government? Gunta transfer. Nobody's saying overthrow. Nobody's talking about. I am not talking about. You see, to say to overthrow any government, that is actually that is not right. We are not talking about overthrowing anything. Look at Scotland. If somebody wants to make a joke, Scotland wants to go for independence. They are not talking about overthrowing any government. They've been in discussions with the UK government, and they are making steps towards the total independence of Scotland. The steps they did, they devolved, they got power, and now they are running the Scottish national, the Scottish government. That's what I'm looking at. Nobody here. I am not in any way talking about taking over any government. It's not realistic. That's not how we go about and solve our problems. We can use the powers, and that's what I'm saying. It's time that we in the Yoruba Nation use what is currently within the structures available to get what we need. And I will keep stating that. So if you come on this platform believing that we are here to just come and talk and say something that is not realistic, forget it. We don't do that here. We're not doing that at all. We are not doing that. So you can say with it, if you want to abuse Guru Boy, Truth Sayer, go ahead and say that. You are entitled to say what you want to say. That's fine. But what we are saying on this platform is we are being realistic. We're not going to be one of these people that would be telling you that we got independence today and not everything else, and we're not doing that. This is not realistic. But we need our people to be informed. And to be informed, they have to be educated about how to go about making the changes we need. It needs our collective effort. So I'm here to state that. So please, when we're watching this broadcast, please keep in mind this has ramifications for... Okay, Guru Boy, Truth Sayer, I appreciate and I accept your apology. I accept your apology. I'm just explaining myself, and that's okay. I understand that, and I'm glad you've withdrawn the statement by making that apology, and I accept that fully. We are all in this together. No doubt, there is nobody who will be doubting what we're saying. The reasons why we're going for Yoruba Nation. We are going for Yoruba Nation because we are totally, as a group, as a people, we have been disaffected by the failure of governance. The failure of governance for over 23 years. And that is what we suffer from. Successive generations. I'm talking 3 generations. 3 generations plus now have suffered. No, 2.5 generations, coming to 3 soon. Time goes. And even before that. And that is what we're suffering from. So we are working on this and trying to make sure that we build something solid. There's no point in rushing along and doing something without having a firm foundation. And we will work towards that diligently. We will. But we have to recognize the structure that we are within. There is no point trying to ignore the structure that is currently there. We have to use that structure to achieve what we need to achieve. And this is what we really have to begin to do. Our people, we have got to encourage them through a combination of enlightening, re-educating of the young and old about what it means to get Yoruba Nation and what steps we will have to take to get Yoruba Nation. We have to go through, this is not going to be, a lot of the stuff that we will need to do will not be stuff that will be on air. It won't be. It would have to be within those communities, and we don't have to be, belaboring it. We just have to take those actions collectively. So I hope that makes sense. So that's me talking about that. So good evening to you, Alhaji Usman Zabrat, Abefeade, Kolawole, Noah Samson, Father Nelson KD, Kai Boys, Kobo, Olasumbo, Yekunle, So what we are saying is that we have to be very, very realistic. If the situation that we face now, that is on ground now, will have in us, Yes, we have to be honest. We need to be more serious and offer people much better choice. I absolutely agree with you, Guru Boy Truseya. And that is the point I'm getting to. I don't want to come here and say to you, yes, Yoruba Nation now, we're getting it down. But it's good to have a slogan. It's good to have, those kind of things. But we need to be looking at the practicalities of what is on ground right now. If we are serious about government, we have to now engage the system as we find it, Yeah, exactly. I know. We can see that. But the pendulum is swinging away from them. If you look at, let me just show you a picture of what. This is why we need to be looking at this. LP came from nowhere, but they're still third. They've only got 17.63% of the vote. If assuming the bombshell thrown tonight is ignored, that is probably where they stay. But we'll see if they have to do the rerun as General Obasanjo asked, demanded, put forward, proposed as an idea. So let us go forward a little bit more. I'm going to try and talk about this in a bit more. Let me get. I want to get what led to that point. I want to get what this man said. What's his name? Excuse me. Dino Melaye. Dino Melaye is the man. Is the man of the hour, as it were. He really set the ball rolling this afternoon by the actions that he took. And we have to commend him on that. So what is it again? Let me just get this one. Let me see. Is that it? Yeah. I'll see if I can get this one. History. Okay. I may be able to pull it up one way. There'll be several things I'm looking at. So just bear with me. So Dino Melaye pulled out that shock thing, which he did. So I want you to see firstly what he did, and then you can hear him in the discussion coming through now. Let's hear what he said after he did the first initial thing. So I just want to hear him, then we can then come back to the other bit of what happened actually on the floor. So here he is saying, well, because it's good to paint a picture of what is going on, not just go straight in and not really, let's hear what he has to say here. So here we go. Listen to this.
I'll speak, and I think my friend from Labour will speak. My friend from ABC will speak. We also have APP here and others. We party agents haven't observed that the national chairman of INEC is determined to rig the election by making sure that results are not uploaded, by vehemently making a presentation that makes it look as if we are all here to rubber stamp the fraud that has been cooked between INEC and APC. We are saying that we are not here to rubber stamp the electoral fraud that have been prepared by INEC and APC. We are Nigerians, and we all know that there is nowhere on the server that results have been uploaded. It's now saying we should wait for the process to be completed before it will review, knowing fully well that once the declaration is done, there can't be any review but courts. So we are completely dissociating ourselves, and that's why we stage a walkout. All the political parties here stage a walkout to express the unfortunate politicization and commercialization of our electoral process.
How many of the parties are staging a walkout?
We are about 9-10 of us here, understand? And we are saying that INEC is compromised, APC have influenced INEC, and we can see results are being changed. We have records of where elections did not take place and results have been prepared. We have records of where the BVAS were not used and results have been pronounced.
See?
What is difficult in the INEC chairman showing the uploaded results so that we can compare and interrogate that with the presentation that is made by the state returning officers. But they cannot upload results. They cannot show us uploaded results because they know that what they are going to upload will be at variance with what they are presenting to Nigerians. So the electoral process has been rigged.
There you go.
INEC has rigged the 2023 elections, and we are completely dissociating ourselves from it, and we know what to do next.
So what is the answer?
So, basically, that in a nutshell is what we are faced with. We are faced with a situation where INEC have disregarded all their failings, their glaring failings, and they refuse to address it. So I like to say that this is something I don't see eye to eye with Dino Melaye. I don't agree with their politics and many things. But on this one, I have to say he called it right. And here's the thing. For we Yoruba people who are trying to go actively go pursue Yoruba nation, this is an open goal for us. All the failings of the system is what we should be putting before our people as the reasons why we must go for Yoruba nation. It's not good enough to say we are going, we're just going. We need to explain to them not only why we are going, the reasons behind it, and then provide a pathway so that we work collectively. And it is important that we encourage them. We need to awaken our people to join us in the struggle. Because if you are going to ask people to join us and go for Yoruba nation, they have to be awake first. And let's be frank, many people in the Yoruba nation, they don't understand the concept of what we're talking about when we say Yoruba nation. They don't understand that concept. They don't understand the meaning behind it. They just think, oh, we're just going to go. But many of them are not aware of our history. They're not aware of many of the things that has been done over the years that has held us back. And we need to reawaken them. They're not aware because they've been put to sleep by a combination of religious teachings from the young age. Many of them do not understand when we say go for Yoruba nation. Yeah, Yoruba nation. But what steps do we take to get there? And what can they begin to do now to help them to become empowered for themselves within this current system so that they are strong enough to join in the struggle? They need to be strong enough to join in the struggle. And what we see on the screen now, those are open goals. Trust me, they are open goals that we can use to galvanize our people. That here are the reasons why we are totally confident in saying to you, Yoruba nation is the only solution for us. Because a system that is prepared to ride roughshod, the INEC chairman totally disregards his own rules. Let me just show you a little, if I have a little thing here, have I got it? It may be in the background. Let me see if I can find it. He disregarded his own rules. I'm coming to the to former President Obasanjo, and we're going to Olusegun Obasanjo and what he said. But I wanted to just show you because it's important. The foundation of what we're saying here is really important. That foundation is of immense importance. If I can't find it here, I'll go another route. There's always a way to find this, but I will get there, no doubt. So let me see. Okay, there we go. Let me see. Where is it now? Yeah, there we go. Now I'm going to show you something. Even though we don't support one Nigeria, we need to know what levers are being used to drive one Nigeria. Because if we don't know those levers, we cannot separate ourselves. We cannot disentangle ourselves from it. So that's why everything that is being used to run that fraudulent nation, we need to know about. From the electoral law to the constitution, we need to know. Because that's where we will find the weakness that we will need to use to get out. You know? So these are the kind of things. Yeah, Yoruba Nation need total reform, totally reform, and get rid of those toxic people like all the agitators. Yes, exactly. We don't need to look. Everybody has a role to play in this, and it's just about managing those roles and re-educating. A lot of times, many of those who are agitators, they don't have the basic understanding of what it means to go for Yoruba Nation. They just think we're just going. They don't understand that there has to be a foundation. When you talk about a nation, we are trying to move from one nation to the next. So that nation that we're creating has to have a foundation, and that is what we need to build. So I wouldn't say we need to get rid of them, because they are. If you're a Yoruba man, you are part of that solution. You are part of us going for Yoruba Nation. So that's what I wanted to state. Let me just quickly show you this now. So now, Deno Melaye talked about something earlier on, and this is what I'm trying to show you. I hope it works. Not now. Oh, come on. Okay, that's fine. I'll show you now. No, not yet. I'm just going to show you. We're going to go to page, I don't know. Just give me a minute. I think I need to go to number 60, if I can find it. Page 60. Here we go. Okay, we're there now. I want you to go to 47. I'm just going to quickly show you something. This is what the INEC chief ignored. I'm talking about the electoral law. What I'm showing you is the electoral law. And look, we need to teach our people to research things. We need to do a lot of research. I'll try and do it in Yoruba at some point, but I'm just showing you this. In the INEC Electoral Act of 2022, you see it on there. In the Electoral Act that was passed in 2022 for this election, it states here, 47 subsection 3, where a smart card reader or any other technological device deployed for accreditation of voters fails to function in any unit and a fresh card reader or technological device is not deployed, the election in that unit shall be cancelled and another election shall be scheduled within 24 hours if the commission is certified that the result of the election in that polling unit will substantially affect the final result of the whole election and declaration of a winner in the constituency concerned. These are things that we need to know. We need to know these things. Please do not misunderstand understanding what is going on for, we are giving up on Yoruba Nation. No, nothing of the sort. We need to understand everything about Nigeria, and it gives us more strength to go for Yoruba Nation. If we are engaged and we understand everything about Nigeria, the failings, then we can relay that to our communities in confidence. Not living in hope. Not trying to be, hopefully, maybe, God will do, and all of that. That God weakness that they put in our mind, He has weakened us. They have deliberately weakened us. But the tools that we don't need the Bible or the Quran to get out of contraption Nigeria. What we need is to know what levers are being used to undermine, to rule us and oppress us, and how we can extricate ourselves from those levers. The Constitution is one of them. This Electoral Act is another. Now, under normal governance, the INEC would have, as soon as they saw this, if they weren't able to release the to put the BVAS numbers straight into the IVA, then they should have said, okay, look, we're going to scrub this within 24 hours. We'll do it. But they deliberately did not do it. They deliberately prevented their officers from posting the figures, and that is truncating the system. And that is what Dino Melaye was talking about. So that part there, if you don't understand anything about tonight, just read and understand that part. And we need to be explaining that to our people, because the more we explain, the more they can join us in this struggle. The more, yes, they cost too much and abusing people because they disagree with them. It is wrong. I agree. I'm glad that Guru Boy Truthsayer, I'm so glad that you mentioned that. If you notice what we do on Oduduwa TV radio, we do not entertain abuse. We do not, we don't encourage that. We want dialogue, because the only way we're going to achieve Yoruba Nation is through dialogue and awakening and teaching each other the things we need to know. We need tools tools to get us to independence. And those tools is acquiring the knowledge, the areas where the current system is oppressing and suppressing us, and then explaining that to our people and using that as a basis upon which we are going for self-determination. So no talk of trying to attack anything. We don't need to. We need knowledge. We need to get our people to understand, for example, that sovereignty, since we are currently in Nigeria, the sovereignty belongs to the people in those local communities. The sovereignty must be allied to the participation in governance to get the things they need currently whilst we're in Nigeria. Once we get it, the strength will give us more strength to go towards referendum, because everybody in those communities will be actively engaged in the one single goal, which is Yoruba nation. So these are the kind of things we need to talk about. But don't let me go too far into it. Let me pull back now. I want to show you what Obasanjo, former President Obasanjo said, and let's watch it in its entirety. And then, where is that it? 1 second. Let me just show you. Then we can come back and discuss perhaps a little bit more on that subtopic. There is it. No. Sorry, 1 second. I'll just get to it. It's not that one, is it? Is it that one? Yeah, I think it is this one. No, it's not that one. Okay. Is it this one? It's not this one. It has to be this one. Yeah, it has to be this one. So let me just check that. I just saw it just now and I can't believe it's gone. But if it doesn't, I will bring it back in a tick. It can't be that one. No, it's not that one. So I do want to touch that one. Let's leave this one. Is there another one there? There is another one there. I just can't pick it out right now. So that's one. Okay, got it. So now, I want you to watch this. We watch this all in its entirety. Listen to former President Obasanjo, and he puts a date of the 4th of March for a rerun of the areas where they couldn't run the elections or where they failed to run the elections properly. He puts a date of 4th of March. Listen out for it. Here we go.
An appeal for caution and rectification. Nigerian brothers and sisters, greetings to you all. I am constrained to speak at this point, and I crave the indulgence of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency General Muhammadu Buhari, to make this statement because I've had opportunity to keep him aware of what I know is happening and the danger looming ahead. On many occasions in the past, I have not hesitated to point out lacuna in the action of the President and his government. But as far as the election issues that we are now facing are concerned, the President has proved beyond reasonable doubt that he will want to leave a legacy of free, fair, transparent, and credible elections. Until last Saturday night, February 25th, 2023, the good and noble plan and preparation for the elections seem to be going well. For the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, a lot of money was spent to introduce bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, and the server for immediate transmission of results from polling units. It is no secret that INEC officials at operational level have been allegedly
Please do share.
To make what should have worked not work, and to revert to manual transmission of results, which is manipulated, and the results
doctored.
Mm-hmm.
The chairman of INEC may claim ignorance, but he cannot fold his hands and do nothing when he knows that election process have been corrupted and most of the results that are brought outside BVAS and server are not true reflection of the will of Nigerians who have made their individual choice. At this stage, we do not need wittingly or unwittingly to set this country on fire with the greed, irresponsibility, and unpatriotic act of those who allegedly gave money to INEC officials for perversion and those who collected the blood money. Let me appeal to the chairman of INEC, if his hands are clean, to save Nigeria from the looming danger and disaster which is just waiting to happen. If the chairman can postpone elections 4 days to the election 4 years ago, he can do everything to rectify the errors of the last 2 days. No BVAS, no result to be acceptable. And no uploading through server, no result to be acceptable. Whereas BVAS and servers have been manipulated or rendered inactive, such result where BVAS and servers have been manipulated or rendered inactive, such results must be declared void and inadmissible for election declaration.
Mm-hmm.
Chairman INEC, I have thought that you will use this wonderful opportunity to mend your reputation and character for posterity.
For where?
Your Excellency, President Muhammadu Buhari, tension is building up, and please let all elections that do not pass the credibility and transparency test be cancelled and be brought back with areas where elections were disrupted for next Saturday, March 4,
Did you hear that?
2023.
Saturday, March 4th, 2023. Where areas where they cancelled. Let's see what Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu of the INEC will now, how will he respond?
BVAS and SAVA official be changed to know which stations or polling units were manipulated. Let a committee of INEC staff and representatives of the 4 major political parties with the chairman of Nigeria Bar Association look into what must be done to have hitch-free elections next Saturday. Mr. President, may your plan and hope for leaving a legacy of free, fair, transparent, and credible election be realized. Mr. President, please don't let anybody say to you that it does not matter or it is the problem of INEC. On no account should you be seen as part of the collusion or compromise. When the die is cast, it will be your problem as the chief executive of this country and that of the nation. Chairman of INEC may sneak out of the country or go back to his ivory tower. Your Excellency, thank you for hearing me out. Compatriot Nigerians, please exercise patience until the wrong is righted. I strongly believe that nobody will toy with the future and fortune of Nigeria at this juncture. Long live Nigeria in peace.
I'm not so sure I want to follow that bit. I don't mean any harm, but as a Yoruba person, I know that Nigeria has harmed the very future of not only myself, but the future of the coming generations unborn as we speak, because of the fraudulent 1999 constitution that has truncated the future, the resources of our land, and denied our people direct access to what is rightfully theirs, their birthright, to enjoy the resources beneath their feet, to improve their lives, to reach their true potential in their own soil. Many of us are having to go outside to get anything like a true potential. And of course, many times, many of us, as we grow older, we realize that all of that is merely an illusion. Ajodabile is the term that we tend to use. And that term is so relevant. Many have spoken to countless people who are abroad, and all they long for is the soil, to feel that soil underneath their feet, to be in our market, our oja, and you can trade and barter. And the ladies are Mama Lata, Mama Oniyo, Mama Lagbadu, all of this stuff, and the smell and the taste and all of that culture. That's who we are. Nigeria is denying us that birthright. That Nigeria is denying us that on a daily basis. We are not able to reach our true potential within that country, because that country depends on denying us. The existence of Nigeria is predicated on denying the people to whom the land belongs, our birthright, the benefit of those resources to improve our lives right there. That is why I can't support Nigeria. No matter what, respectfully to President Obasanjo, I'm saying it without any holds barred. I am signed up for Yoruba Nation for life, as many others. So just because we feel hit a bump in the road doesn't mean it stops. No, we are having to go and re-strategize and then come back with a better plan. And that's what we need to do. And all of us must be engaged in this. What he said, I agree with everything he said in terms of redoing the vote and all that and all of that. But I cannot, the longer we stay in Nigeria, particularly under this current 1999 fraudulent constitution, and as you now see, the INEC, the future of the coming generation of Yoruba people is in danger. Their future is in danger. As it stands, Nigeria is not giving us any hope of a better future. People are looking to get out of Nigeria at all costs. The earliest flight, all exits, they're looking for all exits out. But many of them fail to realize that we have over 40 mineral resources in the southwest, in the southeast, even in the north they have. But there is definitely, in Ondo State, bitumen, second largest reserves in the entire world. Gas, second largest in the entire world. Oil all over the place. Gold, gypsum, phosphates. Look, Nigeria is actively, via that 1999 constitution, particularly the exclusive legislative list, is denying us our birthright. And they are telling us we have to be in a union. And you can see that they're trying to rig that election. And the more, I want to state this, whoever comes into that post, they have to operate under that same fraudulent 1999 constitution. And that is a danger to the future of the coming generation of Yoruba people. So we're very, very clear about that. There is no doubt about that. So yes, I can see the reasoning behind the statement made by President Obasanjo, and rightly so, in a country why to be working, why was if it were that we as Yoruba people, many of us were able to reach our true potential within Nigeria. That is to say, there will be free education, there will be good roads, there will be hospitals, there will be bridges, there will be water, there will be light, there will be safety, there will be security. If all of those things were present, then I doubt that many of us would be clamoring for Yoruba Nation, because we will be achieving our true potential. And we could even, at some point, people were looking at devolved powers, such as it was the case in 1959 when Awolowo was the head of the Western region. And we all know the great feat achieved by late Pa Awolowo, the great sage himself. So we looked at that. But that option of even considering a devolution of powers has been removed from us. Totally. He has been removed from us totally. And it's not even something that they want to look at, those who control that contraption. And I have to say it, I don't even think many of our leaders now who want to lead this, I don't think they are looking at this with the eyes that many of us are looking at it. And many of the youth they are clamoring for change. You could see it in what they were voting for. You could see that they wanted the kind of things that we want. They want light, road, water, safety, security. That's what we want. But the current system is so oppressing them to the point that to even eat, they have to go and beg for what is plentiful in their land. And that is why we in Yoruba Nation, despite our myriad of problems and disagreements and infighting and all of that, one thing that unites us all is that we want Yoruba Nation. And we know at the core of why we're going for Yoruba Nation is because, firstly, orúkọ tí bàbá bá sọ ọmọ lọ́mọ ń jẹ́, àwọn bàbá wa Yorùbá ni wá, wọn ò sọ wá Nigeria. They did not call us Nigeria. They called us Yoruba people or your empire. Everything about us speaks to the greatness of our ancestors. It is coursing through our veins as I speak to you. Nigeria has no bearing on who we are as Yoruba people. If anything, it is actually suppressing our identity. It is suppressing our identity and our ability to achieve great things, because it is stifling us from our resources and is allowing those who are not indigenous to us to come in and take away things from us, and we are just watching. There's no history is taught in schools. Those in power are not working for the people. They are working for their pockets. Many of them. There's yet to be anybody to dispute what I'm saying here. Then people who are going for all these positions, what comes to the end of it? Look at the communities. Look at all the local government areas in all of the 6 to 8 states that are Yoruba. Look at the local government areas. It's in shambles. The same governors who are telling you they believe in, they want you to vote for them, they will sit on the money meant for your local government area. They sit on that money and they will leave you to stew in your local government area. So you never get development. So you never get safety. You never get roads. And they're playing a political game whilst enriching themselves at your expense. That's why we can't support one Nigeria. I can't. And many others. I'm trying to be as clear and dispassionate about this as possible, to make sure that the facts of why we are talking about Yoruba Nation, even now, in the face of what they're doing. And mark my words, there are opportunities for us. But of course, in Yoruba Nation, we need to actually unite first. We need to have a plan. It's great that, and I say it, please, that doesn't mean, I'm going to say this. When we say we unite, it doesn't mean anybody or any organization collapses their structure to form into one single one. No. Please don't misunderstand that. In fact, the more people doing different things to help in various areas, the better. But what we want is to be able to tie all of those organizations together, knowing fully well that the ultimate goal for us collectively is Yoruba Nation. That's what we want. So don't say that, somebody will have to go and give up for this one. No. No, it's not a competition. It is a common goal. And that is perhaps one of the problems we've been having in the struggle. Many of the so-called leaders, they come up and they're saying it's a name of this and it's a name of that. It's the only thing that needs to matter is who we are, Yoruba people. If you're a Yoruba man, you're part of the struggle, and then you bring your talents. It's about bringing our talents together to achieve that goal. And we have to work on it assiduously, continuously, focused all the time. And I want to say again, within the current system, it is almost certain if whatever happens, if they rerun the elections, some of the elections next month on the 4th of March, and then they do announce, because I don't think they're going to announce based on this, because that statement by former President Obasanjo is a powerful statement. I don't think it's one that can be easily ignored. They'll have to do a job to really ignore that, and that's a statement, and I don't think he would have made that statement without proper. And this is where we need to look at things as Yoruba people. When you are going to make a statement about something, and I think we can learn from that. I am almost certain that President Obasanjo did not single-handedly just go and write a letter and then put it out there and make a statement. He didn't. I am 100% certain. And that's one of the things that if we are going forward, if we are going to be Yoruba nation, we need to learn from these people who are currently in control. We need to learn from that. There is no way he would have done he would not make a statement like that without having some sort of coordination behind it. Trust me, he wouldn't. Because then it has impact. If we do not have coordination behind the scenes, whatever, and making sure that it is something that is agreed on, it won't hold water. That is what I'm hoping that we can see. That is whether or not, put aside whether or not you agree with President Obasanjo, whether you have a different, obviously, clearly you can see from how I'm talking about this, I don't see Nigeria as the destination to which we should be traveling. My destination is traveling to Yoruba nation with my fellow Yoruba people, and elders, but he sees the destination for us still as one Nigeria. But look at the steps that would have been taken. Can you imagine the steps they would have taken for him to make that statement? It is not just him alone. And one of the issues that we have in Yoruba nation is when those who are going to be leaders, whoever they are, when they're going to make a statement, there is no thread coming through from across different communities to signify that this is a joint decision. And that is perhaps one of the things that we need to address going forward. We need to address that in all honesty. And I'm not going to... It's rather we get that right than to just rush in and just say, and just say this, make a pronouncement there. We've seen the effects of making just pronouncement off the cuff. Oh, I just make the statement. It happens. I just click my fingers and it happens. Nothing of the sort. Particularly when we're trying to build something like this. So I just want to take the time to really emphasize that point. And this is a very critical point that we're at now with what you see on the screen before you. It's a very, very critical point. We need to be watching and following what's going on. Tomorrow, the INEC are going to continue with what's going on. Now, we wait to see the reaction of Mahmoud Yakubu to the statement by President Obasanjo. And we all know that he cannot be ignored. He's not somebody that they can ignore. Whether we like it or not, as those of us, even though he's a Yoruba man, as those of us speaking for Yoruba Nation and going for Yoruba Nation, whether we like it or not, he has impact. He has influence. That doesn't mean that we should stop going for Yoruba Nation. No. If anything, we need to go full steam ahead towards it. But what I'm saying is, look at what he did. He came into that room. There was a set of things that was put in, and look at what is behind him. And there are things that make sense in what he said to those who believe in one Nigeria. But I recognize that there is coordination behind his statement, and that is what we need in Yoruba Nation. Whatever statement we are going to make, we have to have coordination that will mean that there is impact, there is impact and agreement, and then it actually takes effect within our communities. So, and it's not something that will happen overnight. It is something we will have to build from one community to the next. And that's why we will need our communities to be actively engaged in this process. They need to be taken, we need to give them a level of independence and trust among themselves to want to be in this struggle. Not to be told, instructed, but they are part of it. They are hungry for that Yoruba nation. And we need to awaken that from within them, showing them the paths. And one of the things that I'm absolutely clear about is using the levers that are currently within this current Nigeria system that is failing them. Using that to wake up our people. Simple thing I'm going to touch on. I know it's not absolutely 100%, but I will keep saying it again. One of the things that we need to begin to teach our people in our communities is that you have the right to hold your government to account. And that is the way you can best participate in governance. And of course, sovereignty belongs to you. In your local area, that local area is a sovereignty. It's a group. A nation is made up of a group of small local areas that are sovereigns, that have signed, that they've co-opted us into this fraud nation called Nigeria. Now, those small communities, they are sovereign. When you stand together, that is really important that you stand. When you stand together as a group, that means that you are showing your sovereignty, and then you are questioning, using that power to now question the system. And it has to happen in little communities like that, right across Yoruba nation. That is what we need to teach to our people. So the sovereignty, the fact that you are on that piece of land, demonstrates your sovereignty. You're on that piece of land as a Yoruba person. That is your sovereignty. But the most effective way that sovereignty can be demonstrated is when you work together within that community to get your collective benefit from the current system. So you need sovereignty with the participation. Of course, it states that in the Constitution, 14.2c talks about the participation of the people shall be part of the what's the word again? The participation of the people shall be in accordance with the Constitution of the Federation. So that means that our people, we can combine sovereignty with the participation. The participation part of it is when you are asking questions. And this is something we'll have to teach from one community to the next. Because too often, our communities feel powerless. Now, when a community feels powerful, they can become part of the structure that we will build to get the people to the point where we can confidently, the group of communities coming together, they'll say, now, we want to go for a referendum. Because now they are clear about why they are going for it. It's not us telling them, oh, you need to go for a referendum. Oh, is that so? We go for it. But they don't understand what it means. And that is the critical issue that we faced in this struggle. We have not done a good job of properly engaging our people at the grassroots level in what it means to be part of this Yoruba nation, and how they can use what is currently on ground to begin to empower themselves. Many of our communities feel powerless as we speak, but without opening their minds and giving them the ideas that can be linked directly to the Constitution. Let me give you an example as I'm talking to you about it. So this might be, it's just a little thing, but I will not tire saying it. Some may know it, some may not. But that's the discussion that we need to have now among ourselves. It's all about our community, recognizing the strength that they have. If we do not get them to recognize that strength, however much we battle for Yoruba nation, we will not get very far, because we will need each of those communities to be actively engaged in this process. They have to be actively engaged in this process. So let me go to the www.citizenry.org. Let's have a look at this. So the community is very, very important in this struggle, and I cannot overemphasize it. And as often as possible on my show, when I do any broadcast, I will be re-emphasizing that point. And I'm hoping that I will want to do one-on-one sessions with maybe even not myself alone, or others. We'll do it community by community. Maybe somebody can pick one community. If you see what I'm saying, what I'm doing, and you can do that. But the thing is, we will have to have coordination in that process also. But this is for we need to show the steps as best as we can under the current circumstances. So let me go 14. I think it's page number. Let's go 9. Let's put 9 here. Let's put 9. Page. I think it's page 9. I'm not sure. No. Okay. 13. It must have been 13. Okay. I want to go to 14.2c. 14.2a and 14.2c. So there's more than that actually. Okay. Here we go. 14.2a. Sovereignty belongs to the people, from whom the government, through this constitution, derive all the power. So I want you to imagine your local government area. However many of you are in there, that's a sovereignty. However much big you are, that's a sovereign part of the nation. You are a sovereign. That land, you exist in that land, you live on that place, you have the power over that land. But the government don't want you to know that. You need to understand that you have the power, but you have that power not as individuals, but collectively. Because when they're going to talk about anything about that land, they will talk about estimation of how many people are in that place, what resources are there. So that's the confirmation that that's sovereign. That's a land that's agreed to be within Nigeria. We haven't agreed to it because they've imposed that on us via the 1999 Constitution. But what I'm trying to tell you to understand is, as it stands, you can use that power of the sovereignty within your community. And that is why it is so much important that we build our communities to be effective from here on. That you stand as one. You never ever go and allow yourself to be divided in your community. If you're divided in your community, then they can easily come in and destroy your community. When you stand together, and then you now go to 14.2c. 14.2c. The participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provision of this constitution. And what does participation mean? In this instance, participation means that you are going to be questioning the government about that sovereignty, the lack of amenities within that sovereignty. You have the power to demand from the federal government that they fix the things you need, because all of those small sovereignties is what makes up Nigeria. All of those small sovereignties are what makes up Nigeria. And you have the power to hold those they send to you as representatives. The councillor is a representative of the government. The local government chairman is a representative of the government. The House of Assembly members, they are representative of the government. The governor, they are representative of the government. The House of Assembly is a representative of the federal government. The senator is a representative of the government. The government officials, they are representing the government. And the government is what? Meant to seek power from the people to whom sovereignty belongs. So this is the kind of discussion that I would hope that we need to have. I'm a solid Yoruba. I'm a gbìyànjú ká ṣàlàyé fún àwọn èèyàn wa pé àṣẹ sovereignty àṣẹ lórí ilẹ̀ òun ni tiwa yẹn, ìkópa òun ni participation, ìkópa à ń ṣàlàyé gbogbo kíni fún àwọn èèyàn wa láti agbègbè sí agbègbè. Iṣẹ́ pọ̀ tá a máa ṣe o, iṣẹ́ pọ̀, àbá ni eléyìí o, mo dẹ̀ máa tẹnu bọ̀, irú nǹkan báyìí la máa ṣe tí a bá sọ àwọn èèyàn wa jí. If we do not wake our people up to be able to participate independently, because you see, the sovereignty, to demonstrate sovereignty, you need to be able to function independently as each functioning part of a moving vehicle. You see, when the functioning parts are moving, then the vehicle can go forward. So we haven't got that many functioning parts yet. And that is where we are going to use those laws within the current. We know the constitution is fraudulent, but those powers we can use as a community. So you get your local councillor to fix your road. You all go together and demand that that place is fixed, and you do not stop until you get what you need. And then if it doesn't work with him, you go to the next person, which is going to the local government chairman, and you all go as a collective. And you stay on that until it is fixed. And then from there, you now go to the State House of Assembly and you demand that they release the funds that's meant for your local government area, because you know that the House of Assembly are sitting on your funds. And these are, then now we now begin to take part, and we will need every community to do this, because frankly, if we as a few people think we can do this on our own, we can't. We will need active participation on ground to get Yoruba Nation, we need the people to be awake to be part of the struggle. If we just saying, okay, don't worry, you just keep, just stay as you are, and not, we cannot get anywhere. Let's be honest with ourselves. The grassroots have to be engaged in this process. They need to understand that they have sovereignty, and the best way to use your sovereignty is in a collective manner, not as an individual. If we don't begin to train our people and teach this kind of discussions at a local level on a daily basis, as often as we can, we're not going to get very far in Yoruba Nation. It will remain an aspiration, and we want to be more than an aspiration. Let me speak. The phone line is on. If anybody wants to talk for a few minutes, it's 44-739-582-606. I can tap it into the screen if you want. I'll put it on there. If you want to call in, please feel free to call in and have a discussion around how we can, get to where we want to get to in Yoruba for Yoruba Nation. Like I said, and we welcome more solutions. So let me just type that in here and let's go. I'll put it here. Please call in on. So if you want to call in, I'll put it on here to speak to the studio. So I'll put it on here. It's on the screen, but I'll put it on here to Citizen AY on here. Let's put it on there. So you can join and really make one or two statements. I don't want to really, since they're going to be back again tomorrow morning, and we will see one air updates. If anything changes, we'll let you know. But we, like I said, what former President Obasanjo just said is very, very timely, and it is something that. Okay, I'll pin that anyway. Is that it? Yeah. I'll pin it. It doesn't matter. Okay, is it on there? So it is all pinned on there because it's in English. So yeah, that's fine. So just call the number if you want to call in. That phone line is in. Well, I've got like 5 or 10 minutes or so, and we can talk. And if you do want to, contribute, please feel free to do so. I really need you to play your part in it. Please never forget. Keep in mind, never ever forget. Freedom is the only way out. Yes, please never ever forget that. Yoruba Nation is the destination. When every time I talk about things, please take it for granted that I am committed to Yoruba Nation 1000% at all times. If you wake me up, that's what's on my mind. If I go to bed, it's what's on my mind. How to make sure that our people are free, and that's what I am totally immersed in. Since I now understand exactly how much they've done to keep us in a situation where we're bound in ways which has made us helpless. And I hope let me see. So I hope this makes sense to you. If you do want to call in, the numbers are pinned across those platforms that you see on there. So you can call in. The phone line is open, and of course you can make your own suggestions. And in fact, please, one of the things that I want us to do going forward is to make sure that we all understand that we have a role to play in this. It is not to the preserve of a few. We all have a role to play, and even if you're a Yoruba person, whether you like me or not, whether we don't see eye to eye on things or not, it matters not one jot. What is important is we are Yoruba people, and we are committed to that struggle. And that is what unites us. And I think that is where we should be looking at things. But that's how I look at things anyway. I try and look at it from that point of view, so that at least we can have a common thinking, about where it's going and what we're trying to do, and where, what steps we can take to get to that place. It is really, 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 really important that we think from that point of view, because all too often we like I said, our passion is what has driven us in this struggle. Please do call in on +44 739 582 606. Let me just try and check. I'm going to check the phone line myself and see if that's working as I'm talking to you now. All too often we've all said, okay, yes, I want to go for Yoruba Nation, and we like the idea of it, but the steps, I don't think we've really learned about exactly what it entails, the actual practical steps. Yeah. So the phone line is there. So the phone line is in there, it's functioning. So if you do want to call in, you have the opportunity to call in, and we can talk about things a little bit. I don't want to belabor the point anymore, but we can. I can certainly show you before I go and do that. I just want us to really begin to understand that right now we have to empower our people on ground. We need them in this struggle. We need them not just as to just make up the numbers. We need them to become moving parts. That is to say, they become mentally and physically, psychologically independent and taking actions committed to that single goal of Yoruba nation. That's what we need. We need them to be there. And the fact that that Nigeria is going on will not stop them. That is what Scotland has done. That is how Scotland achieved the devolution of powers and how we have to build their own parliament, build their own parliament and all that. So I'm just here to really ensure that we continue to awaken our people, and it's a task that we have to repeatedly, we have to be committed to 100%. One of the things that is a misconception, or often a misconception, is that it's about funding. We haven't got funding. When you stand collectively as a community, more often than not, you will get the funding you need, because you are now committed to this struggle. There is too many distractions for our people that's been preventing them from uniting and seeing themselves as a sovereignty. That is what we need to explain to them. We need to explain in intricate, in very, very simple terms, but clear, consistent terms, what it means to be a sovereign. And I've just given an example of it now. And I'm hoping that, that is something that people can use as a way to go, okay, you know what? Yes, I get it. I see that picture. I can relate to that. Okay, now how can I activate that within my community? That's what I'm hoping for. Let me just put it on back a pin. So it's pinned on there. So you can call in on +44 1799 580 606 if you want to contribute to the discussion and a way forward. But like I said, that's a bombshell that was dropped by former President Obasanjo in stating in no uncertain terms that what needs to happen now is, the statement that they made has to be they have to go for reballot on the 4th of March next month. Today is the 27th, right? So in about 4 days, 5 days, in about a week's time, they will have to do that poll. So this is really, really important that we think about it from that point of view. I don't know. I wonder what your thoughts are. If you do want to call in, or anybody has a suggestion, ideas, let's hear it. Please, let's hear it. Do not hold back on this, because it's very important. What's going on with this now? I cannot see. Yeah, it's done that. I don't want overview. I want to just go out. Sorry about this. I'm just checking what's going on here. For some reason, I cannot go past and see the questions on with the Dua TV radio. So I'm trying to fix that. I'm hoping that works. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So Olufisayo, Akushebo. I'm not sure if I said it right. Ajaka Olumide Akinwumi, and Guru Boy through Tseya. Like I said, we've spoken before. So please do call in. Musa Salaudin. So we don't have to speak in only English. We can speak in Yoruba as well. That is definitely what we want to do. On a normal basis, once you see the sign behind me for Citizen AY, it's going to be in English. Once you see the sign behind me with Oduduwa TV Radio, Yoruba la máa sọ láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ dé parí. Àmọ́ lókò lè yé wa mi ò a lè dàpọ̀ tí ká lè sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, àwọn ká lè sọ̀rọ̀ yìí kó lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ kó lè yí gbogbo wa. Àṣẹ tí mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ gbogbo, mo fẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ káàròjẹ ká mọ̀ pé ibi ní gbogbo agbègbè wa a ní àṣẹ yẹn ó máa ní agbára púpọ̀ tá a bá sowọ́pọ̀ ká wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní lu àṣẹ yẹn lápapọ̀. táwa ti wá lo bá ṣe máa lo àṣẹ yẹn ni pé a máa kópa nínú ìjọba pé a máa bí wọ́n ní ìbéèrè pé àdúgbò yìí o àdúró béèyàn kan ètò wa dàda ń béèrè fún lápapọ̀ àwọn èmi ni kò sí ilé ìwòsàn kò sí náà kò sómi kò sí títì kò sí irú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ẹ máa bí wọ́n a dẹ̀ máa kọ́ àwọn èèyàn wọn bọ́ ṣe máa ṣe irú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn torí ibi tá a wà ń sìn a lè dá ṣe kínní àwa tí tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ àbí àwọn tó ń ṣe àwọn ètò níbì kan lọ́tún lọ́sì lórí ọ̀rọ̀ òmìnira yìí kì í ṣe nǹkan tá a lè dá ṣe àgbájọ ọwọ́ la fi ń sọ̀yà òun ni tó tó bèrè ìwé wájú ẹ̀yàn gbà òun lọ̀rọ̀ yẹn bọ́ ṣe máa ń pòwé yẹn òun náà la fẹ́ ṣe láti sọ àwọn èèyàn wa jí púpọ̀ náà àwọn èèyàn wa tẹ́ bá lọ bí wọ́n máa mọ̀ ń pa ìwé ẹ̀sìn kìrìtẹ́nì wọ́n á mọ gbogbo ẹ̀ láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ pálí sí paríparí wọ́n á mọ gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n á lè sọ wọ́n á kọ mọ́rí wọ́n á lè sọ fún yín láì wòwe ìyẹn èmi ẹ̀sìn kìrìtẹ́nì ẹ̀sìn mùsùlùmí wọ́n á mọ̀ àmọ́ ìwé òfin ta fi hàn yín wọ́n mọ̀ nǹkan kan pa ẹ̀ àsìkò tó tá a bá máa kóra wa kúrò ní oko ẹrú yìí aláti mọ tí wọ́n fi di kó wa sóko ẹrú kíní iná fi kó wa sóko ẹrú ẹ jẹ́ ká túpalẹ̀ fáwọn èèyàn wa ẹ jẹ́ ká gbìyànjú ká máa kọ́ àwọn èèyàn wa kódà kó jẹ́ pé gbogbo àwọn tọ́bọ́ jẹ́ pé ká máa ṣètò bọ́ṣẹ́ máa kọ́ àwọn èèyàn wa ní àwọn ìwé òfin tó ń lò lé wa lórí láti àdúgbò sí àdúgbò ká máa ṣe àwọn kó jẹ́ pé àwọn kan tá máa pè á kọ́ àwọn kan máa ṣe bọ́ ṣe máa ṣàlàyé ẹ̀ fún àwọn èèyàn wa àwọn bíi tó wúlò báyìí tí mo fi ń hàn ìyẹn 14-2A 14-2C àwọn yẹn àmúdání ṣàlàyé ẹlẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ fi àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ kan ṣe àpèjúwe lórí ẹ̀ tí ó máa yé àwọn èèyàn wa. I'm sorry I'm sort of going into English and Yoruba because I'm conscious that we need to be able to explain this in our local languages to help our people to really become independent. Because they've been so mentally conditioned to become dependent on the very people oppressing them. And that is what we need to break from. They've been so mentally conditioned to become dependent on the very people oppressing them. And they feel powerless at the same time. And the more, and the thing is that there's something called quotidian. Let me type what quotidian means. Let me show you what, I'll type it. Let's see. What does quotidian mean? Let's type it in. Because I want you to understand that that's what many of us are doing when we think we're doing a religion. This is what we're doing. And I want to break it down. Quotidian. What does quotidian mean? Yeah. Okay. Of occurring every day, daily, kind of like a, what is another word? Like in one on it. Yes. Daily, day to day, recurring. Now, so that's what it means. So it is like a daily thing. Now, kí lẹ máa ń ṣe ní Sunday? Kí lẹ máa ń ṣe níjọ́ Friday? Kí lẹ máa ń ṣe ní Friday? What do you do on Fridays? What do you do on Sunday? On Fridays, it's a day as a Christian, as a Muslim, you go to church, you pray. You pray 5 times a day. That is a routine. A quotidian is a routine. Let me try and find the other word for quotidian for you. So I want you to really understand what we're doing. Because if we don't break this down for our people, we won't understand. I'm not trying to put any religion down, but I'm saying for the struggle, we need to understand what we're doing. That is taking a lot of our time. Those quotidian, those routines is taking the time we need for the struggle. And if we don't break it down to our people, they will not break the habit that they're in. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. So, okay. Routine. What is other word for, I'm trying to see it. Yeah. I'm trying to see. Quotidian, daily occurring, returning meaning. So, I'm going to find there's a way, quotidian and routine. Well, so I want to just show you. I know it's not linked at the minute. So, yeah. Okay. I'm just going to try and get it for you. Make sure. Professional. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Recurrent becomes a routine anyway. So that's what I would say. I would say it's a routine, which is what you would do every time. Daily, cognition, quotidian. So what I'm trying to get at is this, is that what you do on a regular basis start informing how you see life. So this constitution is going to break that mental habit, because now you are focused on how do we get freedom, not what do you have to do. Many people will go, ago mejo ti lu, mo man lo church, eja ti mura o, eja lo church. So, and when you go to the church, you forget about the things you need to really sort out. When you go to the mosque, the same thing, and you do that every Sunday, and then that takes your mind, and then the church now takes more of your time. So you do Sunday school, then you do Monday service, then you do night vigil, then you do all of those things. Those times we need in a community. We need more of that time that you're using in the churches and the mosque to begin to build your community. Because remember, that's sovereignty. The church cannot give you sovereignty. The church has no sovereignty. The mosque has no sovereignty. Your community has sovereignty. That's the key difference that we need to explain. Your community has sovereignty. And that is what we really need our people to understand. We need to, in the grassroots, this is the message that we need to really ram home. We need to explain that to our people. So do you want to call? If you do want to call in, please call in. 447-958-0606. I don't know if anybody's called in. I don't know. Did I silence it? I hope not. If I've missed a call, let me just check that people haven't called in. If you have, I'll call you straight back, of course. But I don't think I've seen anybody call just yet. No, I've not seen any call just yet. The call. So if you do want to call in, just call in. Lily, good evening to you. Do call in if you have suggestions. And also, please, if you want to ask a question about what I'm saying here, is it making sense to you? How do you see it? What contributions do you want to make to this discussion? Because it's very important for us to understand what is being used to direct the minds of our people. Like I said to you, quotidian is a routine. Let me just see another way to put it. Let me see. I'm going to put it on here, and I will make sure it makes sense to you. Quotidian is another word for routine. So, is another word for routine. I just want to make sure you understand what I'm saying here, because our lives, especially the people on ground, is being made to be full of purposed with routine. And when you think you're actually praying, it isn't. You are doing something that is, occurring daily. Yeah, occurring daily. It is something that's occurring daily, which is in effect a routine. But let me see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, routine. So commonplace. So it's a routine. I found the root word, but quotidian means that. And that is what is taking a lot of our time within our communities. And we need that time to be able to work together. We need to be able to have exercise our sovereignty. The only way to get the infrastructure you need is by exercising that sovereignty, recognizing that, working together collectively in your community, and then asking questions from the system that is meant to serve you. Don't forget, the system of government is meant to serve you. We need to use that to begin to awaken our people, because we need them to be awake to be able to go for the struggle. As it currently is now, the people don't understand what sovereignty means. They don't understand what participation means. So when you say Yoruba Nation, yes, they will say it. But what is the deeper meaning behind saying Yoruba Nation? This is the deeper meaning. Because once you can take control of that, and we need to teach this to young children at an early age, on ground, in our language. When the mom is breastfeeding, tí ìyá bá ti ń fún ọmọ lọ́mú tó ṣe ń mú, wá máa sọ, àìwá o, àṣẹ wà lọ́wọ́ wa o, ọmọ ó lè má mọ̀ tún ẹ̀, kọ́ṣẹ́ àmà sọ fún aláti kópa ní ìjọba o, a fẹ́ kí ọ̀dọ̀ wa tòrò, agbogbo àti sowọ́pọ̀ o, à ń lọ bá àwọn tí a gbà sí ipò tá a yàn sí pé kí wọ́n bá àwọn kan sọ̀rọ̀, wọ́n máa wá sọ́dọ̀ wa, a fẹ́ kí wọ́n bá wa ṣe náà o, a fẹ́ kí wọ́n bá ẹ máa sọ ó máa yà yín lẹ́nu láàrin ọdún méjì báyìí, ọmọ yẹn akọ yìí á yé ń tẹ̀ ń sọ ni, ayé á dẹ̀ ṣàlàyé fún yín, ẹ̀ ń kọ́ wọn nìyẹn, ìyẹn máa jẹ́ àǹfààní ládùúgbò yín, ó di dandan ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, ẹ̀yẹn máa kọ́ wọn pa yẹn ju kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn ìtàn tó wà nínú ìwé kan tí kò ní mú àǹfààní wá fún yín, sọ̀rọ̀ mi yẹn yín, ó ṣe pàtàkì tí mò ń sọ yìí, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ tí ọ̀rọ̀ tí mò ń sọ yìí tó bá bá a mú o, mo kàn ń bi ó máa dá lẹ́ẹ̀kan kàkà lè bá àwọn ta ló jẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ pè wọlé ní abẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi, ẹ jẹ́ kí n wò ná mi ìmọ̀ tẹ́ ẹ bá ń gbọ́ mi, mo fẹ́ check ṣé ẹ ń gbọ́ mi báyìí, Okay, àwọn kan ti pè é sí àbí. Okay, shoot. Remember, hold on, you can't put him saying. 1 second though. So, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, I had to take that call quickly. So, the reason I'm saying all of this, you see, tí a bá lu agbára wa ká fi gba ká fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní claim àwọn agbègbè wa bẹ́yẹn kò ní rọrùn ó máa ṣòro láti gba òmìnira tá fẹ́ gbà yìí tí àwọn èèyàn bá ti mọ̀ pé àwọn ní agbára bẹ́yẹn ó máa rọrùn fún wa láti gba agbára yìí aláti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní àwọn agbègbè wa ṣọ́rọ̀ mi yẹn ibi tá láti gbé bẹ̀rẹ̀ nìyẹn so mi mọ̀ tí ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo sọ tó bá yé yín o tẹ́ bá lẹ̀ ní kankan láti fi kún ẹ jẹ́ ká mọ̀ ẹ má kàn dáadáa èmi náà kan náà ṣé èèyàn kan ní wàá pè wọlé ẹ̀mí kan lè má sọ̀rọ̀ lọ ẹ wo ohun mi ti ń ẹ jẹ́ kí ẹ tẹ ó kan ti má mọ̀ let me know if what I'm saying makes sense type 1 if what I'm saying makes sense to you please because I'm keen to understand I like it to be a two-way process you know it's not just one-way process I like to hear from you in terms of you saying something you know so as like I said, I've got another 5-10 minutes before I wrap it up. But the message is this: for us to get, the message is for us to begin to awaken our communities from the ground up. You know, we need to be engaging our communities. We need to be teaching our breastfeeding, our moms, our young moms about the need for them to understand what sovereignty means and to teach it to the children as they're coming in. Even as they're pregnant, they should be talking to them about sovereignty and participation because you are switching on their mental ability to be able to start taking solving the problems. And that is what I think is important in this struggle. It's going to take some time. It's going to take us some time to get to where we want to get to. But if with clever planning, we can achieve it. I am certain of that. It's not just about, yes, Yoruba Nation now. The action behind the Yoruba Nation is just as important. The actions we take by awakening our people, showing them the steps, the critical steps that need to take. These are very, very critical things, you know. You see, you can by teaching this now, these two that I've just said now, participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. That is something that people can know, okay, I can participate. And in my own language, ìkópa nínú ìjọba, ìkópa, that means that you participate in your government. And what step does that actually mean? You question your government, you demand that they fixing things in your area, you demand that because you are a citizen, the things that is due to you, that they have to provide under the constitution. So you demand that good roads, good water, good light, health, safety, security, but you can only do that as a collective. The expression of your sovereignty is only effective when you do it as a community. The expression of your sovereignty is best demonstrated when you collectively, as a community, come together and demand for what is yours through the participation of holding the local councillors, the local government chairman, the House of Assembly, holding them to account. In your area, we are the ones to whom sovereignty belongs. You are working for us. We are paying your wages. You must listen to us. And consistently teaching that to our people. Then it wakes them up that to solve our problem, because many people make a mistake in our communities. We think, to solve our problem, if I pray to God, if I pray and I pray and I pray, God will send somebody kind to our community and they will fix this for us. Great. You know, No. How many communities will somebody send one person? Will that happen to all communities? Let's be real about it. It requires to fix our community. It requires committed effort from all. It requires committed effort from all, and that is where the foundation is. And once the community understands that, from one community to the next, then it becomes easier now to talk about Yoruba Nation, because they understand when you say Yoruba Nation, you are really talking about sovereignty. That's what you're talking about. Their individual sovereignty connected together now becomes Yoruba Nation. I hope that makes sense. Do you understand? So that is what we're trying to really inculcate in our people going forward. Like I said, if you do want to call in, +44 739 580 606. I will be, winding down from here. I need to have a break because I've not slept the last few nights because of the coverage of this election saga that we are still under. The unfolding drama, of course, still going on. And no doubt, if any development comes out in terms of Mahmoud, Chairman Mahmoud Yakub, in terms of his reaction to what former President Olusegun Obasanjo just said, we'll bring that to you as well. And if there's any further development in any way that's going to be of immense importance, then yes, we can talk about that. But please, one of the things that I want us to do is we need our communities to be individual moving parts. Now, to be individual moving parts, it requires each community to become independent mentally, and it needs collective thinking to solve the problem collectively together. Once a community starts becoming independent, both mentally, physically, and being able to solve their own problems, they are much more useful in terms of collectively reaching Yoruba Nation. They are much more going to be active and participating in that struggle. As it currently stands, many of us who are in the struggle talking about it, we talk about it from the point of view of informing the people, this is your right, this is your right. It is different from when the people know that right from within. When they know that right, it affects how they do things. It informs their decision making, and they realize that, okay, what do we want? Because oftentimes we talk about each local government needing money, but I'm telling you that the local government, do you know that the federal government sends to the local government, to the state, something to the tune of 100 million naira for local governments? And the local governments never ever see it because it stays in the hands of the governor and the House of Assembly. And then we say that we are poor. They are not poor. But if we share that information with the local government, then they can go forward and provide the evidence to back it. They can go to the local government and say to the local government chairman, you are coming with us to the House of Assembly and we are going to provide the evidence, and they need to provide the funds. So that starts putting pressure on those who are elected officials to now provide the funds. But it can only happen when you work collectively, community by community. And that is what we are hoping to achieve. So now when we talk about it from that point of view, you now understand that it's not that we haven't got the funds. It's that the fact that the funds that are being provided are being withheld. And by exercising your right to participate in your own governance combined with sovereignty, you can achieve the infrastructure in your community by simply participating and putting pressure on all the pressure points. Those funds will be released to you and you can get the roads, the water, the light, the hospitals. And it teaches our people about participating. We are preparing them for Yoruba Nation in doing that. That is what I think we should be doing. I hope this makes sense to you all. I feel like I'm talking and nobody's answering me. I don't know. I don't know. I hope you can hear me. I know you can hear me because I'm testing the system, and it seems to be I'm hearing the reply back in my ear. So I know you can hear me. But nonetheless, it's fine if you don't want to call in. And I understand some people, there is a fatigue about Yoruba Nation. I understand that. I get that. Sometimes I look at it and I think, oh, what are we really, going somewhere? But then when I hear people's comments and then I see the so much passion that people has for Yoruba Nation, then it gets me up again. Then I'm ready to go again. Then it never leaves me. It never ever leaves me. I believe 1,000% in Yoruba Nation, and I'm asking you to please continue to share the broadcast. If it resonates with you, let's continue to take action. We can work together collectively. And like I said, there are a number of things that will be done, and when the time is right, there will be a collective discussion that will be revealed to all when the time is right. Right now, we're in the process of reshaping things and everything else. And we deliberately, some of us have deliberately kept out of those arguments and name calling and all, because it's not really what we want to. That's actually holding us back and dividing us the more. So we need to just think about it from that point of view. Kenny Farino Oracle Father. Okay, thank you very much. I see that. I'm just trying to see people on Moninola Adeyemo. Thank you very much. So what I want us to really do is to really continue to encourage our people. We need very targeted knowledge sharing within our communities to wake our people up. You can pray if you want, but to achieve a community where you can have the infrastructure you need, it needs community cohesion. Your community has to be cohesive, working together for the common good of the community to get the things you need, the things like road, water, schools, bridges. You can't get it individually. You cannot get it individually. And the more you stand together, you are expressing your sovereignty. When you stand together within your community, you are expressing your sovereignty within that community. And the more likely you will get the infrastructures, they will be built, because the government recognizes that that community is a sovereign and they are actively participating in their own governance. And that is what we need our people to begin to do on ground. Currently now, those of us abroad, I just told you now, 100 million naira they give to the government, to the state government for the local government. But that money stays in the hands of the House of Assembly and the governors, and they share it among themselves. And it never gets to local government. Now, how much money do we in diaspora give out to people? How much? We don't give 100 million. We don't give them 100 million. We don't. So thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much, Kenny, my brother. Thank you. I appreciate that. I doff my hat, my brother. Thank you. I appreciate you. All of us, please, I want us to recognize that we all have very, very important, useful, and usable talents to give momentum to Yoruba Nation. And when we start abusing each other, we are actually putting ourselves backwards. We all have innate talents that, if combined and used properly, we can use it to drive forward Yoruba Nation, and we will get there in no time collectively. So man, so we can ní èdè Yorùbá wọn ní ibi tá ń lọ òjìnà, ibi tá ń yà sí ló pọ̀. So that's what we're doing. There's a lot of distractions along the way. Where we're going is not really that far. We're going for Yoruba Nation, and we know it's sovereignty. But it's different things that is distracting us from getting there. So I'm hoping that by getting our community to start seeing themselves as a community, and sovereignty is tied to the community, then they can achieve. Like I said, I'm going to do a lot of research about that 100 million naira funds and bring that to the table, because I think we need to unlock that. People think that there is no money. There is. The state governors get paid 100 million naira for their communities. I'm not quite sure how often that is. Is it up a month or so? But they get funds meant for local government areas. But the State House of Assembly and the governors sit on that money. It never gets down to the local government. And that is why we have bad roads, bad schools. And we need to tell the communities this. This information they need to know. This is far more important for the community to know than the Bible or Quran. It is far more important for the community to know that, there's money that the state government is getting, but they never let it come down to you. Then if the community knows that, guess what? They will take action themselves. They will say, no, you are sitting on the money we need. You are the ones impoverishing us. We need to share this. Before they start this new new government, it is important that we start sharing this kind of information. So I'm going to do a program about the funds that the governors get. So be expecting that in the next few days. And if others want to do it, it doesn't have to be me that starts it. Anybody can start it. I'm not interested in me being the first. If anybody can do what I'm saying, you can do it on your program. You can, if you have even better presentation, go ahead. The key thing is our communities need to understand. We need to remove from our mind that we are poor. We need to remove that from the minds of our people. Because the money that they need is sitting in their hands, is between the governors and the State House of Assemblies in every community. And we need our people to know that. So I'm hoping that this resonates, and I hope that this makes sense. Please do share. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to have a bit of a break now. I'll probably be back later on. I may not even go to sleep. I'll probably be back again on Oduduwa TV radio and speaking Yoruba. Again, to reiterate this point, because I think we need to hear this several times over. And those of us in diaspora, we need to actually become cognizant of the fact that our people are not poor. It is that the government, the state government, and the House of Assembly are sitting on those funds. And it is how we explain that to our own community so that they understand that they are not poor. And that, in the long run, can be beneficial to us because we don't have to be sending money home. Once they start taking action for themselves, you'll find that the need for us to send funds dries up because they are taking action themselves. It's like fish, giving a man a fish. You give them fish, they want more. But once now, they start asking the state government and they don't stop, what that means is that they now start taking care of themselves. They become fishermen. They are fishing for themselves. And we have to empower them to fish for themselves. As a community. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you found that useful. We are looking at really simple, practical steps. I'm going to do a program about the funds that the state governments get and how it's, and how that fund never gets down to the local government area. It is something that we should really be talking about and we should be explaining to our communities. That is the way to prompt them. It is more likely if they know about that because they go to the church and they pray in the church and they go to the mosque. But the mosque and the church are not telling them about this 100 million naira that plus, I don't know the exact amount, that the state government gets from the local, from the federal government that is meant to come to the local government. That is of more importance than any Bible or a Quran. That is of more importance to them than any Bible or any Quran. Do you agree with me or do you disagree? I'd like to know. So please, I'll be back again to discuss with you guys later on. I'm going to have a bit of a break now. And please do leave comments and let's hear from you. Money is wealth. Thank you very much. So please, we need to take away from our mind that we are poor. We're not. The state governors receive the funding meant for local government. And between the governors and the state House of Assembly, that money never reaches the local government. And that is the real bottleneck that our people need to understand. So we can see now how we need to get our people to participate in their own governance. If we don't, those of us in diaspora will continue to send funds. Even though they get funds, they have more than enough funds. 100 million is not small change. Imagine that going to the communities it's meant to go to. Think of the schools. Think of the hospitals. Think of the bridges. Think of the water. The help that we are giving is not needed. What we need above all is to enlighten our people. If we enlighten them, they can take care of themselves. We have to empower them from within the community. Within the community. I hope that makes some sort of sense. I'll be back later on. Thank you very much for watching. You've been watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Before I go, actually, I'm going to play this song. We're giving you as much information as possible to help you to become independent, to be able to take charge of your life, take charge of your own of your community. Hold those who serve you accountable. The Bible and the Quran, I'm sorry to say it, and I will keep saying it. I don't hold back on saying that. They are tools of mental enslavement. At least in the way they are used in contractual Nigeria. They are designed tools of mental enslavement, designed to enslave you, to weaken you, to make you feel you have no power, to make you feel, oh my goodness, oh my, how do I, what if, you doubt everything that's going on. And that is not, that is what we are here to try and awaken you from. Oh, sorry, what's going on here? What's happened? Oh, sorry, 1 second. I'm just trying to find something here. Okay, 1 second. So, like I said, we'd like to hear from you. And please do help us share the broadcast. No, okay. Maybe I'm getting tired now. I think I am getting tired. Let's have a look at this. I just want to play I wanted to play the song, but I don't seem to have the right one that I wanted to find. So I will try and let me look again. No. Okay, got it. So listen to these words. Listen to the words in this song. How long gonna go so far?
My people, I throw it alone. Hey, hey. Make it hear. Inside Nigeria, now slave camp we dey Now so my people we don't tire for the country where them they call Nigeria. Now slave camp the time done knock where we suppose stand up for our rights stand up for our rights The time done knock where we suppose stand up for our rights for self-determination. How long?
How long, bro?
How long gonna go this suffer? How long? Gonna go this suffer? How long? Gonna go this suffer? How long? Gonna go this suffer? Salam na fake man.
Yes, so.
Now he put that yeah constitution for your head, yo. Abdul Salam na fake man. Na military man come tell you na say una get constitution. No be na lie, yo. Na fake, na fraud, oh. That yeah constitution. Now in the day close to na high, yo. Make una wake up, oh. How long? Kuna no say self-determination, oh, na your right, oh, far. My people, I won't make una no say self-determination, na your right, oh, come far. You must fight for your right. You must stand for your right. You must get up, stand up. You must tell your people for your village, for your town, for your city, any inside country where you dey, oh. Atiku, Emiloko, or Peter Obi no be the solution. Not the solution, now it be the solution. Make una wake up, make una wake up. Time don't knock, baga. You be Yoruba man, you be Biafran. I want make una know say self-determination, now your right, you. How long? Nigeria, no be Nigeria, no be Nigeria. La, 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 oh.
I hope you've enjoyed that track. It's called How Long Una Go to Suffer. It's in Pidgin. You can download it on iTunes and Spotify. It's on those platforms, and I think it's on. I'll be getting on sound on soon. We're still working on that. I hope you find it beneficial. Please, I want us all to remember that our people, we are not poor. We've been made to believe and been conditioned to believe that we are poor, and we are here to awaken our people collectively. They need to be part of this struggle. They need to know their worth. They need to understand their self-worth. If we do not help them to get their self-worth, it's going to make the struggle to achieve Yoruba Nation a lot more difficult, because they need to be part and parcel of this discussion. Going forward, that is what we need to do. We have to stop making our people believe that they are helpless, but make them believe that they are powerful, that they can get focus, that they can achieve this goal, and they are just as important in this struggle as everybody else. Community by community, community by community. This will take concerted effort from all of us. I want us all to get engaged in this, and the quicker we can wake them up, the better. I want to thank you very much for joining this podcast. You can see the breakdown of the figures over there. And once again, Tinubu is ahead, 4,105,663 votes. Atiku second, 3,052,625 votes. Peter Obi is 1,643,049 votes, 70%. And Kwakwanso has got 238,724 votes. He's placed in fourth. So that is what's really happening. Everything happening in contraption Nigeria is going to impact our lives. So the quicker we empower Yoruba people, Biafrans, with this knowledge, the quicker they can free themselves. For 200 to 300 of us coming together and saying, we're going to free you, you need to do this, without giving them the tools to free themselves. The knowledge is the tools that they will need to free themselves. And that is why imparting the knowledge from one community to the next is of immense importance. The community will need those tools to free themselves, the knowledge and the information that they need, and the areas they need to go to tap into the areas that can free the funds they need. The funds are already there. They are not helpless. We have the funds in abundance on there. What we need to do is to make them aware of it within our community. That's the task we must do going forward collectively. So I hope this makes sense. We need to begin to do that work collectively. You can do it. Anybody else can do it. Let's share that information. So ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Do me a favor, please. I know Facebook have blocked me on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Help us. And also subscribe to Citizen AY and Oduduwa TV Radio on YouTube and help us grow the platform. And hopefully we'll be able to do more work on there. And I'll be bringing more stuff to you. And the issue about the money being that's been sat on by the state government and the House of Assembly, I am going to go into detail about that. That's going to be the next topic that we'll be talking on here. In terms of the Yoruba Nation and the structure, there's currently some discussions going on. It's not myself alone. There's a lot more people who are going to be part of this thing. And when we decide the time is right, because it's not something that can be done by one person, then we will present the ideas to the Yoruba people as a whole. It's not one thing by one person, and we all need to participate in this struggle to really make it a success. It needs each and every one of us to participate in it as much as we can. So thank you so much for watching. You've been watching Citizen AY. Yes, so no be lie, Nigeria, exactly. So yes, yes, so no be Nigeria. Yes, so what is you not do? Good evening, my brother. Welcome on board. I'm just wrapping up now. I'll be back later. I may be back later on in the middle of this night if there's any more updates. But please help us share this broadcast. Please, the goal is to empower our people, and we need to remove this mentality that our people are poor. We have to remove it. I'm going to get the details about how the funds that the federal government gives to the states get stuck between the governor and the House of Assembly, and how they share it among themselves. That is information that our local people need to know. Because when they know that, they know the steps they need to take to free themselves. And we can help them with the tools to do that mentally. by giving them the appropriate information and education in terms of the Constitution of Nigeria and how they can tap into that to get what they need. It's not us sending funds home that solves the problem. Sending funds home and giving them things makes them dependent. Currently, we are just shifting the dependency from the Nigerian government and from the politicians to the people in diaspora. That's all we're doing. We need them to be empowering themselves from within, recognizing the strength and the value of the resources that they possess, and to begin to tap into that. So we need to re-educate our communities. We have to. It will take some time, but that's what we need. That's where we need to. I firmly believe that's where we need to start. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'll be back later on. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. Please don't forget, if this resonates with you, please do share. And do call in again next time. I know it's probably late anyway, so that's probably one of the reasons why people didn't call in. Adesola Olagbero, welcome on board. We're just wrapping up. If you want to see what we've done before, if you want to go and follow what we did, just go back to the beginning of this broadcast and watch it from the beginning, and it'll make the picture clearer. And there's a lot that we can glean from that. So I thank you for watching. You've been watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Once again, like I said, I'm back later on. I want to greet Waris Jinodu and Olumide Akinomi on YouTube and others who subscribe. Don't forget, subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube, Oduduwa TV Radio on YouTube, and help us continue to grow those platforms. Thank you very much, and bye for now. Bye for now.